let's do something a little different in this video. Let's build a test bench for the YouTube studio. So you guys have seen this background for quite a bit of time now, but here's the thing. We've actually had a bench in this room so we could actually do a whole entire test bench like little area. We just never got around to it. So let me show you real quick. So as you guys saw, this is the YouTube studio. I have some parts already lined up, but right here, we've had this bench just sitting here nonchalant with the 4K display, 144 Hertz. And I really want to put a test bench right there and then have a nice setup with the mouse and keyboard, get a second PC to record some footage. Now, I'm gonna go over the specs real quick on what we'll be using, but we're gonna be building it out in this beautiful case here. As you can see, well, it's a test bench, not a case, but let's go over the parts real quick. Now, as far as the specs go for our test bench, we're gonna be using an AMD Ryzen 9900X 3D that AMD sent over to us. So a huge shout out to AMD for that. We're also gonna be using the Lexar 32 gigs, 6000 C26 RAM. Huge shout out to Lexar also for sending that over. We're using the Kingston KC3000 2TB, which we use religiously. We've used it so much in so many builds, and we love the quality of those M.2 drives. As far as motherboard goes, we're gonna be using the MSI X870E Carbon Wi-Fi and the MSI Core Liquid A15 360 AIO. All of this is gonna be housed inside this case here. It's called a Praxis open air test bench. That's all I know. The name of the brand is kind of weird, but we've been using these now for some time now and we love them. And I wanted to have one set up back here in the studio like I showed you earlier so we can do some more testing. At the moment, we're changing parts continuously in my personal builds here in the office or at home. And it's just a pain in the butt to continue doing that. So I thought, why not go ahead and build something in the warehouse, in our studio, so we can just change parts in and out and make it so much easier. One thing I will say about this cooler that I really love is this bracket here. It gives you pretty much everything. It's already installed. It's like a universal bracket. It's just absolutely perfect. And the good thing is that this literally just, if you do this, it just slides up completely out. And then you can switch it over to like a, pretty much one of the bigger, what's it called? The Threadrippers brackets, just slides on and that's it. So this is for literally Intel and AMD together, which I love that because this would be perfect for a test bench because I don't have to switch out the bracket. I can literally just slide it on, uninstall it, and reinstall it, and I'm good to go. You know, I gotta say so far that this cooler that MSI gave us honestly is a very, very easy installation. I mean, literally you just took off the little brackets that come with the AMD motherboards, take that off, the 4 screws put it aside. They literally have the bag here, AMD screws right there. That's all you need. Take off those 4 screws, tighten these guys back in. Literally, I'm gonna take the block now here, slide it right on top. We'll obviously put the thermal compound, which it does come with some thermal paste from MSI. Put that on here real quick, put the cooler on here, and boom, done. Awesome job on MSI. So let's go ahead and put it on the test bench, and then we'll go ahead and install the cooler right afterwards. So the cool thing about a test bench is you literally just slide the motherboard right on because of these little guys here. I'm gonna call them nipples. So instead of you having to continue to screw the motherboard over and over again, all you literally have to do is take your motherboard, line up the holes, which will literally be designed for a full-size ATX, just like that, and that's it, it's on. Now I can go ahead and install the cooler, which I am gonna actually screw that in on this side here, just because I wanna make sure I have enough room. Right here, it's gonna go all the way to the top and the tubes are gonna go right over. They do have a bracket that is the triple rat one. I just couldn't find it, so we're just gonna use this for the time being. We don't need like crazy support on this at least, but what I do wanna do is line it up to see where there's enough room where I could actually bring this cooler over to make sure that there is enough room for everything to line up properly. So what I could do is slide this down one more notch. So it should be fine like right around there. And now it gives me enough clearance to go ahead and install the cooler. All right, there we go. We got one screw in, we're good. We don't have to hold it anymore. There we go. We're gonna put in 4. We don't need every single one, since it is gonna be just on this test bench and it's not gonna be like being shipped or essentially like moved around by UPS. Or else, if it was, then it would pretty much end up looking like that guy. So now we're gonna go ahead and install the actual cooler. What we're gonna do on this, we're not gonna spread anything on this one. We're just gonna go ahead and put pea-size thermal compound. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys do this, because I know there's so many opinions on this, and some people flip out and get upset and say they should do it one way, and then the other people say you should do it the other way, and it's just the whole entire battle as how the average community does and handles things to begin with when it comes to PC hardware. A lot of opinions out there. Lots and lots of opinions. All right, so we're gonna just go ahead and screw these in real quick. I like to do, screw it on one side a little bit, screw it on the other side a little bit, and then finish off tightening it. And then rinse and repeat. So I gotta say, MSI, you did a fantastic job on this cooler. I am loving this cooler. One of the things we do, especially when looking out for, obviously we do so many PC builds, we always want to make sure that we have something that's easy to work with. It doesn't have, doesn't slow us down when it comes to building. And I love the fact, once again, that you guys left the bracket on here, because it just makes it so much easier. We have the Intel bracket, the AMD bracket, boom, install it. It took just, yeah, so quick, so quick. So huge shout out to MSI, GG's. All right, so now we're just gonna run the RGB. Again, this is a test bench, so I don't really need to do this anyways, but I'm gonna do it anyways. RGB headers way down here. Someone needs to come up with something better for RGB headers. They're so annoying. And then we wanna plug this into CPU pump, which is the middle one right there. So that's what we're gonna do. Plug it into CPU pump, and then we'll zip tie this later and kind of tuck it away a little bit. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty, because we are building this as a test bench. So we're gonna go and run the cable underneath. We're not gonna plug in the RGB since we really don't need to. Again, it's just gonna be a test bench. So what we're gonna do is we'll plug this into system fan 1, not CPU fan header, which, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put this in CPU fan header. What am I thinking? The reason for that is because I do want it to adjust the RPMs based off the actual temperature on the CPU. So AIO plugged into CPU fan header, and the pump itself is plugged into the actual pump header as well. So we should be good to go. We're gonna move on to power supply. So yeah, so essentially, like I said, this is gonna be just a full-on test bench. If for whatever reason I do wanna use it here in the warehouse to game or whatever, I'll definitely just pull it out and game on it. Because we will have a LAN party here soon at the warehouse. Warning, they left me a warning here. Interesting. All right, cool. So we got ourselves a 1200 watt power supply, because we want to be able to plug in pretty much any GPU from base models all the way up to 5090s. And we definitely want to go ahead and plug in every single cable. Definitely want to use that. So we will take all of them out. What we're going to do is we're just going to plug in all of these. And while I'm at it, since it did state to plug this in, which I was I've never seen that before. Warning, please plug this side into PSU. And almost forgot which one I'm gonna plug into. All right, cool. So we're gonna plug this in. So that's gonna be for our GPUs, the NVIDIA GPUs mainly, and then some of the connections for 9070s, because 9070s do use, some of them do use the same exact connector. We'll plug in some 8 pins as well. The only thing I probably won't plug in is gonna be SATA cables, since I don't see myself ever using anything with SATA. There is literally nothing that I personally think I would ever test that has SATA power. Cool, so we got both 8-pin connectors for the CPU and the board, both 8-pin connectors, well actually technically 4 8-pin power PCI connectors, which I don't recommend daisy chaining them like this, but if you do, if that's the only option you have, then that's fine. And then we have our new big boy 600 watt PSU for the GPU connector. All right, and then SATA cables, I'm gonna put those back in the box. I don't need those. Honestly, I won't need those. So let's go ahead and slide this into the case. So the power supply is gonna connect right down here. So this little piece here just slides pretty much back and forth, essentially. So we're gonna slide the power supply from that angle to the side, and then we'll slide the other piece, which is right here at the top. You'll see it right there at the bottom. That just slides back and forth there. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Grab the power supply, have all the cables. We'll point them out since we do want to run them through the front here. Let's slide all of these cables through the front. The fun part, let's fast forward this part. So keep in mind, I would not be having it this way right now. I'm literally using the camera to see what I'm actually doing right now. It's kind of hard because I can't see that side. Kind of impressed with myself, not gonna lie. Power supply is in. All right, so we're almost done here. Now we're gonna do is just pretty much run some of these cables. I have these 24-pin cables here. I can run it here to the bottom. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we do wanna do some cable management, just a little bit. So then these cables in the front, so actually I have a CPU cable. This is 8-pin, 8-pin. I don't need these here. We're gonna run these here through the back. Oh, this is gonna be tough, chat. There we go again. I said chat. Well, now that you guys know that I say chat all the time, we do live stream. So if you guys do wanna join us on a live stream, head over to twitch.tv/PowerGPU and drop us a follow. We're actually running a giveaway right now. The giveaway is gonna be live actually, a PC giveaway. It's still gonna be live when this video comes out. We just launched it today, Wednesday. So head over to Twitter. Actually, you know what? I might even put it in the comments for y'all guys to make it easier. How about that? All right, cool. So 8 pins are in, motherboard connection is in. We can literally go ahead and plug it in right at the station and see if it boots up. All right, so moment of truth. Let's see if it turns on. If it posts, it should be fine. Oh, I hear liquid. Lots of liquid. Remember, we don't have this plugged in the RGB. Dang, that Lexar RAM looks fire. I'm plugged into the board right now too, by the way. Oh, it posts. Aha, it posted, chat. Oh my God, I said chat again. It's posting, it's going through the cycles right now. Posting into Windows, would you look at that? Again, I just gotta reformat this drive. That M.2 is an Intel build, so we definitely gotta nuke it and reinstall everything and we should be good to go. All right, thank you so much for watching. We have a lot more content to come, so make sure you subscribe. Peace.